Hello, this is On the Spot Clips, and welcome to the 1-year anniversary video. I started this project, as I said, on October 11, 2016, for the purpose of mixing and separating all these different clips from On the Spot episodes, starting with the first public episode. I was inspired by various YouTube channels that did the same for the Whose Line Is It Anyway shows that also separated them into little clips. This is, I should point out that this is a fan-made channel made by a fan, and it's not affiliated with Rooster Teeth or whatever and all that stuff. I actually, when I started this channel, I had to go through their fan whatever thing, projects things, and set up the necessary descriptions needed to have these videos stay on YouTube, but then all advertising material would go to them. Pretty much free advertising for them, and they're getting paid for it. So I set out to create a list of what clips I could get from On the Spot episodes, and I came up with 6 to 8 number of clips that could happen in an episode, and future episodes that introduces more sections of the game or throughout game versions like the diddle cards later on might increase that total to 9 clips an episode. But without further ado, here is the list for normal On the Spot Clips episodes. First is the intro, and this would be at the beginning of an episode where John introduces the various members of the teams happening and all that stuff. There's a couple of banter that goes on between the team members and the host. All that happens introducing this show. Whether or not there's some audience thing through Twitter or whatever, or the audience that they present for suggestions for games later on down the road. They also choose their team names, any ads that need mentioning, along with presenting what they're fighting for, the Golden Gus, and then they start on their games. This leads us to Game 1. There are normally 3 games that are played in an On the Spot episode. Sometimes it's 3 games, sometimes it's 4 games. Yeah, it all depends on the episode itself. After Game 2, there's a redemption challenge played by whichever team is losing at the moment. Sometimes, some rare cases, both teams cooperate in the redemption challenge to get points, but it's mainly for the benefit of the losing team. What else? Oh, and throughout the episode, there might be various bits of banter. Now, I love everything that Rooster Teeth people sometimes get into and all their conversations and stuff. But the purpose of the clips is to show the content relevant to the clip itself as much as possible. Sometimes some of the stuff that leads into banter is relevant to whatever game they're doing, but for the purpose of the clip itself, it tends to bog down the amount of time it takes for that clip to reach its resolution. So yeah, that's why some of that is taken out. There's a formula for that. It'll take a while to explain. Anyway, there's banter, and that creates its own little thing. It spans the length of the episode if there's more than one banter bit in the episode. Then there's the ads section. Whenever there's an ad where there's shenanigans happening in the middle of it, if it's just the ad itself, I'm not going to do anything. If there's nothing happening in the ad read, it's just an ad read where nothing's happening, I'm not going to put the ad up. Then at the very end is the credits, which, as I'm well aware, later episodes end up not having credits in the main episode, because then it just fades out into the end title cards and hoping you get to the post game and whatever. But the post games are only available to first members, previously known as sponsors, for Rooster Teeth, and aren't publicly available. So it would be a bad idea for me to post those whenever those come along. So when that comes along, I'll still call the end of that episode credits, but it'll just be the end banter after all the score is done and all the shenanigans that happen at the end of that episode. but there won't be any credit roll thing that rises and all that stuff they do beforehand. After a season of episodes and all those clips and stuff, which tends to be anywhere between 10 and 12 episodes, at the end of each season of episodes that I put out, I enter what is called an intermission phase. And that's the time where I create various best-ofs of various different portions of the game, like game sections like intro, banter, ads, the various games that go on, redemptions, and then people too. Various people come on if they've appeared at least 5 times since the last best of or since the beginning of the series, and that's what makes them a candidate for a best of video. I do have to say one last thing, that I definitely am the one who put that suggestion in the season 8 finale, I believe it was, season 9 finale, I'll put it up on the text, whatever it was, where Andy got really confused as to what birds and the bees were, and he thought it was birds and the beats, and that's what that whole video was, because that was me who put that suggestion on the site. So yeah, thank me for that. Thank you all for subscribing, all that stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being invested in whatever capacity we're in for this channel. I made this for me and for friends and for fans, and just to make these little clips just more accessible for people who just want to see a particular clip and don't want to scroll through an entire video just to see it, which is a good thing in itself sometimes, but sometimes you just want an immediate effect, and that's what the clips are for. So yeah, thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching on the spot, and videos tend to come out every Monday from noon Central Time to either 2:30, 3, 3:30, maybe even 4 p.m., depending on how many clips are in an episode that are being uploaded. So yeah, see you next Monday. Thank you.